This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Yes, working the night shift. The Commodore's sleepless, kind of a theme going on here today with our guests from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock, Dave Temlett and Terry Harder. Now, sleep investment counselors, no less, with us on Boomer Life this morning. I mentioned just before the break that both Dave and Terry sleep on magnetic beds. And Dave, you've mentioned in the past, I didn't know that Terry did, but I knew that you had purchased a magnetic bed some time ago because your wife has some health issues, not the least of which was circulatory things, dealing with fibromyalgia and so on, and found over time that the magnetic bed really was quite different and quite viable. So tell us about that. How did you and your wife even discover this product was available and she came to enjoy using it every day?
Well, it came from the fact that obviously it's a product that we carry in the store, and she laid down on it and she found a huge relief from the arthritis that she has in her hips, and
so almost by accident then, huh?
Well, we started carrying it almost by accident. It was kind of pitched to Terry and I from Restonic, who's been in business over 75 years, and they really supported us in the beginning. So, we wanted to take a look at this product, but Terry and I kind of looked at each other and kind of rolled our eyes. Magnetic therapy.
Sounds a little new age.
Well,
huh?
Yeah, exactly. So we were somewhat skeptical, but then once we, really looked in depth at the product, and then realizing that they actually contain BioFlex concentric circular medical magnets in the actual upholstery layers, and then reading the studies on the BioFlex magnets and realizing that there's a whole accessory lineup that BioFlex has been manufacturing for, now 29 years. They've been out since 1986. It dates all the way back to Expo in Vancouver. So they've been around for a long time. And the real fact that sold me on it was the fact that, and Terry for that matter, was the fact that these magnets are actually registered medical devices with both Health Canada and also with the FDA in the United States. So, the amount of studies that have been done, and I mean, there's a heck of a lot of credibility in this product. So when we read that and read the testimonials and spoke to the distributor, the BioFlex magnets, and he's never had a product sent back to him because it stopped working since he's been doing this for 29 years.
So when your wife lay down on the bed, how long does it take? Because it's a positive, negative thing. These magnets create a magnetic field.
That's correct.
And so you lie down on this magnetic field, and it's said to improve circulation. When your wife first decided, can't hurt to lie down for a couple of minutes, see what it's like, how long did it take before she could say to you, this feels a little different?
Well, she didn't really notice it, initially until she was waiting for me. And she came actually to pick me up, and so she was laying on the bed, and while she was waiting for me, she started to feel a slight warming sensation, which is the increase of the blood circulation. So you feel a very slight warming sensation. It probably took her 20 to 25 minutes before she noticed that.
Right.
But
because it's not going to be instant by any means.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not like a switch. You turn it on and off.
Exactly. Yeah.
So these are standalone units. They don't have any kind of electronic probes or anything like that you attach to your body. You don't plug them in. They're magnets.
Right.
So the difference between these magnets and a standard type of, say, a refrigerator magnet is a refrigerator magnet will have the positive and the negative magnetic fields that are actually side by side. There's no gap between them, and they run horizontal from left to right. So the difference with the BioFlex is that they're a circular magnet, and they have a gap. They have different widths on each of the bands. So it starts in the center with quite a large northern pole, and then there's a space, and then there's a thin ring next to that, kind of like an archery target.
Okay, sure, right. Yeah, the bullseye, right.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a gap between the positive and the negative, or the north and the southern poles, if you will. And then the next ring out is a different size, and it would be the positive, and then the next one out would be the negative, and so on. And so it creates the magnetic field that kind of fluctuates back and forth. It's fighting with each other, if you will, allowing the magnets to work upwards in a 3D configuration. So that reaches deep into the tissue, opening the vascular system, opening up blood vessels so they can reoxygenate quicker. And here's the killer that for me, this is the deciding factor, is that because they actually reduce, they're proven to reduce swelling and inflammation. That's the reason that they are registered as a medical device.
Okay.
And that was the selling point for me.
Right.
And we brought the whole product line in. We carry all of the back braces. We carry the
all the wraps and so on, right?
Okay.
In addition to the mattresses.
That's right.
Okay.
The splints, knee braces, mattress toppers, and it's a great product. We're the only ones in the Lower Mainland that are selling this mattress. There's a couple of other dealers out there that sell the BioFlex magnetic pieces, but we are the largest dealer.
Okay. And what size mattress did you end up taking?
Well, we bought a queen size.
So how many of those magnets would there be in one of those in a queen size bed, Dave?
Well, there's 330. There's 15 strips containing 22 magnets in each of the strips.
Okay.
And then when you go to a king size, there's 440 magnets in them. Now, the reason that we chose a queen size is we've got a huge bedroom, Sterling. It's over top of our very large garage. So it's pretty much, for all intents and purposes, the size of a double garage.
Okay.
But we selected to stay with the queen size because, you know, we don't know how long we're going to stay in this house for. My wife and I are cuddlers anyhow. We like to be close together. And going to a king size bed, you're looking at it probably 30% more money for a king size bed. So you know, that's quite a bit of money to add on to going for a luxury product.
Sure. So
we took that budget, instead of buying a king, and we kept it to a queen size, so we could actually afford to buy a better quality bed for ourselves.
Interesting. And Terry, you've got a magnet bed as well. And yours, the difference between the approach you've taken and Dave is you put yours on an adjustable frame.
That is that, and it works very well. I recommend anybody. It's one of the better beds for the adjustable bed.
What size? What size do you have?
Queen as well, Sterling.
Okay, all right.
And I wanted to reinforce what David said about Restonic being in business 75 years. Just because not everybody has heard of Restonic doesn't mean that they are not a top manufacturer.
Well, I was going to say, maybe they haven't heard of them lately, but it's a really well-known old name in the industry. Maybe we just haven't heard much from them lately.
Absolutely. And the magnet bed is actually a specialty bed, but from there it's a special bed in that it has everything that a specialty bed offers, such as natural latex, as we committed to the biofoam in the bed. So it offers everything comfort-wise, but substantially more. And part of encouraging people to make an investment is to have an open mind. There are alternatives out there. We don't need to accept that arthritis affects our sleep and causes us to wake up all stiff and sore in the morning. We don't need to accept that we're getting very poor circulation from diabetes. We don't need to accept that our back is creating a lot of pain. There are answers out there, but you need to have an open mind. You need to try and expand and your horizons. We really want, this is something we really think people are missing out on. And I'm very impressed with the company. And things to keep in mind, if you want as an example, I have a customer that has a very narrow room, and this is unheard of. The Sealy Serta Simmons, as good a manufacturers as they are, they can't do things like this. If you need the magnet bed in a king size made at 75 inches long, they can manufacture it. None of the other manufacturers could do things like that.
They can whistle up a custom job.
That's right. They can. So they can do that mattress any size. They're open to, and that's why a smaller manufacturer quite often is something you want to invest in. Because remember, you're not only investing in Dave and I in the store and in a better night's sleep. You're investing in from the manufacturer all the way, and we really want to make that investment worthwhile for you, and it's just something we encourage you to consider. Come on in. Right now we're offering tremendous values on the magnet beds, and have an open mind. It is something that will truly improve the way you sleep, and again, as we talk about, improve the quality of your life.
Absolutely.
Well, and then one thing I just want to quickly add to that, Sterling, what Terry has just said about Restonic is that even the owner, he's got the same kind of approach that Terry and I have. He likes to be really involved with the end user. In our case, what he does is he goes down to the factory and he's actually manufacturing a lot of these beds himself. He'll do a lot of the, run a lot of the machines himself. And
that's like the guy who makes the beds. He's got a team, but he's a hands-on guy too.
He is, yeah, and and that's the thing that we really do is we focus on dealing with BC products, BC-made products. So most of the manufacturers are right here in the Lower Mainland. Simmons, unfortunately, has just been they've just closed their factory on Annacis Island, and so unfortunately, a lot of their products for this market now are going to come up out of Seattle. So right now, any of the products that we have in stock or on our floor from Simmons are actually still BC-made products.
Okay.
But that, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be changing going forward. So I'm not sure where we're going to be with them going forward, because we really do focus on the BC, supporting the BC economy and the manufacturers. Now, having said all that, though, getting back to a company like Restonic that has been in the marketplace for so long, they because they're not as busy as a Simmons or a Sealy or a Serta, they can actually do things that are unusual, such as custom sizes and one-offs, and they make round beds and beds for RVs and for boats and so forth. So they make a great product.
So again, if you're looking for something that may require a little special attention, something that's not typical, then Innovative Sleep Solutions, well, the innovators themselves will be happy to look after you. The fellows that you're listening to on the radio right now are the fellows that will be in the store when you arrive. Explain your situation. You've had people come to you and say, I've got this RV, I just bought it, it's used, but it's nice, but I hate the bed, it's beaten up.
Happens a lot.
So can you do an RV bed for me? You go, of course you can.
Yeah. What do you want? How thick do you want it?
Right. What kind of latex and all this kind of stuff? So
absolutely.
It doesn't matter what the requirement is. The fact is that it can be filled with a little time spent on determining or defining what those needs are. You tell the guys what you need and sit down and have a good long conversation with them, chances are those needs can be met, Dave.
Well, absolutely. And so you can certainly get a higher quality product for your RV if that's what you want. You can certainly get a better quality mattress than what comes standard with the RVs, because they basically buy something inexpensive to keep the pricing down on that product.
Right. The website is online at innovativesleep.ca, but the store, and this is where ultimately, even if you check them out first on the website, which is what we do, we're pretty smart, we're pretty savvy shoppers. We scope out the site first and decide whether it's worth jumping into the car, and of course, it is. And the address is 3033 King George Boulevard in South Surrey, White Rock, right across from the Surrey Auto Mall. I'm Sterling Fox. You're listening to Boomer Life here on CIL 650 with our guests from Innovative Sleep Solutions. By gosh, they've become sleep investment counselors, and all they did was go away for Christmas.
Invest in your rest.
We're back with more after this.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.